This is number 6 in a series I'm doing on bad therapy. That is, things that therapists do on purpose, not by accident, that actually hurt therapy. But today my focus is a little different. Instead of therapy itself, I'll be focusing mostly on the way therapy is promoted or advertised. The bad ways it's sold, both by large companies and also by individual therapists. I'm Dr. Stephen Reidbord. I challenge oversimplified or misleading messages that you see everywhere on social media and in public discourse generally. If you like what I'm doing here, please like this video and subscribe to More Than Meds. I've been on YouTube now for a little over a year, and my most popular video so far was a takedown of the advertising that BetterHelp does to promote their therapy services. If you want to take a look at that video, it's in a link right here. The point wasn't to criticize the therapists who work for BetterHelp. Most are probably good, I'm sure some are bad. Instead, it was to look at the way the company misrepresents therapy in order to sell it. Basically, they sell therapy as something nice to do for yourself, or an indulgence to treat yourself to, like it's a rich dessert that you let yourself have, or it's a day at the beach, or a spa day. And they sell convenience and flexibility. You can arrange sessions haphazardly at your own convenience, they say. And they advertise that you can switch therapists anytime. As I mentioned in that earlier video, ad hoc sessions and switching therapists readily actually aren't very good for psychotherapy. Really, the reverse is true, the opposite. It's really better to have regularly scheduled therapy sessions. It works better that way. And it's much better to talk to the therapist if there's something that doesn't feel right, or if the relationship seems off in some kind of way, instead of cutting and running. Ghosting the other person when your relationship goes the wrong way is probably the problem you came in with. It's not the thing that a therapy company should be advising you to do. But today I want to expand on this, and I'm not going to focus on BetterHelp specifically, even though they're a big obvious example and they're kind of fun to talk about. The problem is a lot more widespread than that. And the problem fundamentally is that psychotherapy is hard to sell. Right off the bat, it's a long technical word, psychotherapy. It's 5 syllables long. And so everybody shortens it to therapy, which would be fine if those 2 words meant the same thing, but unfortunately they don't. As I frequently point out on this channel, therapy not only includes psychotherapy, but it also includes basically anything anybody wants to sell you that might make you feel better, even if temporarily. I talk about that in more detail in this older video right up here. So in addition to silly examples like retail therapy, feeling better by going shopping, or vacation therapy, taking a vacation, there's a lot else that goes by the name therapy that's sold like fast food. Cheap, easy, and convenient. Come see our therapists who will never challenge you but only encourage you. Text our therapists day and night, 24/7, even though that actually isn't very good for psychotherapy. Our therapists won't frustrate you by making you figure out your own life. They'll just tell you what to do and how to live. That's bad if it misrepresents what therapists are really doing. It's a kind of bait and switch. They're selling one thing and giving you something else. It's even worse if the therapy itself has been watered down to make it as easy to sell as fast food. Let me give you a specific example. Every week I see online, mostly on LinkedIn, because I'm on there a lot, turf wars, basically, between licensed psychotherapists and unlicensed coaches. They're often sniping at each other. And this points directly to the problem. In theory, it shouldn't be too hard to tell these groups apart. Psychotherapists are professionals who provide a treatment based on a professional assessment. In many ways, it's parallel to a medical doctor who diagnoses and then treats a particular problem. And both in the case of medical doctors and psychotherapists, the person has to recognize that there's something wrong that they need help with, that there's something wrong inside themselves that needs to be worked on. Back when psychotherapy was still called psychotherapy, everybody kind of recognized that. Psychotherapy was serious business. You didn't do it casually, and you didn't do it because it was trendy, although I have to mention that in New York City, it was trendy for some decades to have a psychoanalyst. But for the most part, people respected the idea that a person with expertise and an experience was more valuable than a newcomer who came on the scene with some trendy new idea or approach. Psychotherapy wasn't sold or practiced like entertainment or like recreation or like a pleasant pastime. It was serious business. Meanwhile, coaches, which is also a respectable professional service, are not treating anything. Instead, they guide or encourage their clients in terms of career decisions or how to be a better executive or leader. It's a different business entirely. The problem is people are a lot more comfortable getting help from a coach than they are from a psychotherapist. And why is that? It's because you don't have to admit there's anything wrong with you. You don't have to identify that there's a problem you need to work on in yourself. Now, some will say that that means coaching is less stigmatizing than psychotherapy, that it doesn't pathologize the patient, doesn't say there's something wrong with them. Instead, a person can say that they're having, quote, a normal reaction to an abnormal situation, even if that isn't exactly true. And that might be the end of the story if we were simply comparing a popular option like a fast food restaurant with a more specific alternative like a vegan restaurant that has a more limited clientele. McDonald's is popular and it's convenient and millions and billions of people go there. And in contrast, the fancy vegan restaurant isn't. The vegan restaurant or its owners may envy all the crowds going to McDonald's, but they don't try to become a fast food restaurant. It's a different business. Sadly, that's not the situation in mental health. Big companies like BetterHelp, but also smaller group practices and even individual therapists try to sell their services by making them sound like something they're not. It's like if the vegan restaurant put golden arches up on their roof, or even worse, started selling hamburgers and French fries. Therapy companies and some therapy groups and individual therapists sell therapy like it's a spa day or something nice to do for yourself, something pleasant and convenient, like a paid friend who will never make you feel bad, or like someone who would never be impolite enough to suggest that some of the problem is in you, or that you have something to work on. Have you ever noticed that in therapy ads, both parties are always attractive and smiling warmly at each other and talking comfortably about something? Nobody's ever upset, nobody's ever crying, nobody's ever recounting some terrible thing that happened to them. Nobody's going through a dark night of their soul. That's not how it is, really. And you coaches out there, please forgive this comparison to fast food. I realize it's not fair to you. But more and more licensed therapists are now calling themselves coaches too. They do therapy and coaching. And why do they say that? Because coaching's easier to sell. They can still be therapists, but not scare away clients with their hard-to-sell psychotherapy. And conversely, Coaches nowadays often offer some psychotherapy as well. Why? Because their clients need it. But they won't go to see a psychotherapist because nobody can sell psychotherapy in an honest way as well as they can sell coaching. The ability to sell coaching far outpaces anyone's ability to sell psychotherapy in an honest way. Many therapists, online especially, complain that coaches practice psychotherapy without a license, that they should stay in their own lane. And of course, they shouldn't practice psychotherapy if they're not licensed therapists. But the licensed therapists themselves are a big part of that problem. They've blurred the distinction between psychotherapy as a treatment and quote-unquote therapy as this feel-good encounter that doesn't ever ruffle anyone's feathers. There isn't much daylight between that kind of therapy and coaching. The public and we as a mental health profession have to face the truth. Psychotherapy is not fast food. You can't sell it honestly and sincerely as taking a break in your day or doing something nice for yourself in the moment. Psychotherapy isn't advice, and it's not a sympathetic ear to validate your feelings and your prejudices. It's not designed to be especially convenient or frictionless. It's nice if it is, but that's not the priority. It's not for complaining about the harsh world out there. You can do that in therapy, but it won't change anything. And it isn't coaching. Psychotherapists should leave that to the coaches, just like the vegan restaurant leaves the burgers and fries to McDonald's. Psychotherapy is a treatment. It's for you to change something about yourself, how you think or feel, maybe how you react to social situations. And like many things in life, quality comes at the expense of fast and cheap. Psychotherapy, quality psychotherapy, can't be sold as fast food, which by definition is fast and cheap. Those who try to sell psychotherapy like fast food or like taking a break in your busy week or even like coaching, they're misleading you. It's hard to sell psychotherapy, just like it's hard to sell a medical practice by saying, bring us your gas pains or your itchy rash. If we were honest about it, we would say, come to psychotherapy because you're getting in your own way and you don't even realize it. It's not a pleasant message. Everyone's happier if medical doctors and psychotherapists talk about their convenient online services or how the process will be painless. You won't even know you were sick. It's understandable that doctors and therapists advertise that way, but they shouldn't if that's not accurate. Psychotherapy can be hard, can be painful. It can and probably will shake things up and challenge your assumptions. If you want a spa day, go to a spa. If you want fast food, go to McDonald's. If you don't want to work on changing something inside yourself, you just want to bounce ideas off of someone or get some guidance about how to improve your leadership as an executive, then talk to a coach. But if you feel you need or want psychotherapy, don't fall prey to a sales job that makes therapy sound like something it's not. Please comment on the dubious ways that psychotherapy is sold or promoted. And let me know about other examples of bad therapy, things that therapists do or say that are misleading or that hurt the process. I might put them in a future video. Please like this video, but only if you really like it. If you are inclined to share this video, I won't stop you. And please subscribe if you have not already. And as mentioned, this video is part of a playlist about bad therapy, and there's a link to the playlist. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.